and welcome to Week 16 of NFL Gamepicks. Man, oh man, it's flying by. It's coming close to an end. Only 2 more regular season weeks, and then we'll get into the playoffs. I'm excited. Some of our teams are in playoff contention. Realistically, none of our teams are eliminated. So I have that to root for, but Bears have the longest odds. How are we feeling about that, Chris?
Well, we needed to win yesterday, or last week. It did not happen. Close game. Had a chance at the end. Mooney had it fall in his lap and didn't catch it, so that sucked. But, I don't know, we still got the number 1 pick for now, so we'll see. We're doing all right.
For now, you better hope the Patriots win the game.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see.
Joey?
I'm disappointed. This defense sucks. I was really happy that our offense was able to keep us in contention for a long time in the game. But fire Joe Barry. That's all I got to say. This guy sucks. Everybody there's a lot of people on the team right now are trying to voice their opinion. Like Devondre Campbell, Jair Alexander deleted all of his Packers pictures from Instagram and stuff. So a little interesting right now, but I think that they should fire Joe Barry and try to revamp that locker room because I think that there's a cancer in there and it's not very good. But we'll see what happens moving forward. We got knocked out of the playoffs, so I don't know. If we go 3-0, I guess we have an 89% chance to make the playoffs. But I don't know. At this point, kind of need a top 10 pick on the defensive side because, damn, Baker Mayfield, only quarterback in NFL history besides Aaron Rodgers to have a perfect passer rating in Lambeau. That sucked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I did not see that coming whatsoever. I mean, I was fully expecting the Packers to win the game, so I was a little shook. And then I saw Baker had a perfect passer rating. I'm like, what the hell happened? But yeah, Dolphins, big shutout win against the New York Jets. Very pleased with it, to say the least. Tua balled out, no Tyreek Hill. Beat the allegations that Tua can't throw deep without Tyreek. But in all honesty, the Jets team is just not very good. So I'm not super over the moon with the win, but I'm super happy that they were at least shut them out. You know, that's what you should do against teams of the level of the New York Jets, especially when you're a team like the Miami Dolphins hoping to be one of the top teams in the AFC, at least maybe the NFL. We'll see about that. But we're going to jump straight into the standings. We have Yadian still on top, 145-79 on the year, 11-5 last week. Inched just a little bit closer to him, going 12-4 last week. I'm in second place, 141-83 overall on the season. Then we have Hector, who went 11-5 and has a 138 record, wins and 86 losses. We'll throw to Chris for the next part of the standings.
Had a pretty good week. Predicted it. Went 12-4. I'm in 6th place right now, 134-90 on the year.
Nice. And then what about you, Joe?
Well, I also went 12-4, and that was huge for me. So now I'm 7th in the leaderboard. Starting to climb up there, which is pretty cool. Didn't think I'd be able to get here up, kind of seeing myself without scrolling down a little bit. But kind of cool, yeah. 12-4, had a good week last week despite, fading my team this past 2 weeks have actually been in my favor for this. So that's what's been propelling me.
Yeah, pretty good week all around for everybody. The top performers were all 12-4. Myself, Chris, Jonathan, Joey as well. And then the worst of the week goes to Andres G, 7-9. A little rough week for him. But, hey, let's get it going. We have Thursday Night Football, and the action should be fun, interesting. We'll see what happens. We have the New Orleans Saints versus the Los Angeles Rams. Both teams are 7-7 and fighting for playoffs. Last week, Jameis Winston pulled up to the game with an empty briefcase. And he was like,
gosh.
This is what's standing between us and the playoffs. Absolutely nothing, which I find cringe as hell, but I low-key kind of love, too. It's kind of like, it's like the top-tier Jameis Winston moment. I wish they recorded it. I hope they did, because I can't wait to see that video if that's the case. In terms of picking this game, it's a tough one. We have a Los Angeles Rams team that is surging, and we have a New Orleans team who could win the division or be in the wild card. Who knows? This NFC South is starting to shape up a little bit better than how it was earlier on in the season. I'm really torn here, but I got to go with the home team. Get me the Los Angeles Rams. Who wants to go next? Christopher?
Yeah, I'll go. I'm also going to take the Rams. Both teams, obviously similar records, similar positions, being second in their divisions, fighting for playoff spot. I think the Rams just have more of like a deadly offense at this point compared to the Saints. Both teams have pretty good defenses, so it should be a pretty good game overall, but I'm going to take the home team.
Nice. And Joey?
I'm going to rock with the Rams as well. The offense is clicking. Don't make that face at me because we're all going to go with the same team. But yes, we are. Rams are clicking. The offense is hot right now at a perfect time. Like you said, we are 3 weeks out of the playoffs. They are currently in, and I feel like they're going to keep rolling and potentially get to the 6th seed in the NFC.
Interesting. Why don't you take us through the Saturday games?
Let's do it. To kick off the Saturday games, we got Cincinnati traveling to Pittsburgh in the AFC North divisional matchup. I think I'm going to rock with the Bengals here. I love what Browning had against the Vikings. His swagger was really cool on the sideline. And I just ate some Skyline chili, so I'm feeling kind of good about that. So I'm going to go with the Bengals here.
Yeah, I'm going to rock with the Bengals as well. This Steelers team without Kenny Pickett, I don't have confidence in their offense. Probably one of the worst offenses in the league in the last 2 weeks. Mitchell Trubisky is in it. He got benched for Mason Rudolph. So expect something a little bit different from this Steelers team, but among the lines being the same, like inefficient. I think Rudolph has something to prove because he's just been constantly like the last quarterback kept on that roster for the longest time ever since Big Ben was there. So I'm pretty sure he has a point to make. But at the end of the day, this Bengals team has a little bit more to fight for. So let's see what happens there.
A battle of the backups. You hate to see it. Yeah, like you said, Rudolph's in for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I hate picking against Pittsburgh at home. I'm going to take the Bengals. I also just had some Skyline chili, so feeling pretty good about this pick. Yeah, I've liked what I've seen out of Jake Browning so far. He's playing with some fire, and Cincinnati could still very well make the playoffs as well. They're still in the hunt. And if they win and Cleveland loses, which I kind of will predict that Cleveland might lose, they might very well get in the playoffs. So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out.
Why don't you keep us moving to this next game?
The next game, we got the red-hot Buffalo Bills going into the Los Angeles Chargers.
Whoa.
What?
Pause.
Oh, jeez. Anyways, yeah, you got the Bills taking on the Chargers here. The Bills.
What's going on, dude?
Hey, yo.
I don't know, dude.
Dude.
I don't know what your problem is, but anyways,
Scratch that, reverse it.
yeah. I would take the Bills. I'm just make it easy here. I mean, they got a huge win last week. Chargers, who knows what's going on? No Justin Herbert anymore. This shouldn't be a great game, honestly.
This is really reminiscent, in my opinion, to the Black Friday game where the schedule makers are like, this is going to be great. We're going to have Buffalo, Josh Allen, Chargers, Justin Herbert going head-to-head the day before Christmas Eve. On holiday weekend, going to be killer. This game's going to suck. Give me Buffalo. They're going to kill them.
I do agree with both of you boys. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills. What they did to the Cowboys was really, really shocking. When I heard that they were beating the Cowboys like 21-3 or like 31-3 or at some point, I was just like, what's going on? I didn't fully expect that to be the case. I expected them to really put up a good fight and possibly lose like at the very end, not blow them out like the way they did. This Chargers team just got rid of Brandon Staley. I don't think much of them going on, especially this week. Give them a couple of weeks. They'll probably or give them the last 2 weeks. They'll probably get a win in one of those two just to spoil things for people. But last but not least, we're going to go to Sunday where we have the Cleveland Browns versus the Houston Texans, like Chris alluded to earlier. Browns might be in danger here. So far, with Joe Flacco starting, the Browns are 2-1. Both wins have come from home. So second road game with Joe Flacco. I want to pick the Texans, and I will for right now. That's with the estimation that, C.J. Stroud will play. But if he doesn't play, then I might switch over to the Browns. But that's like the biggest factor there. Case Keenum got a big win against the Titans last week. But this Browns defense is legit, and I think they're going to give this Texans team problems no matter who's the quarterback in. But I do like C.J. Stroud's chances of getting a win better than Case Keenum against this defense.
Yeah, they came out and said today, I think, that Stroud's pretty unlikely. I think he's got a concussion, so he's pretty banged up.
Mm-hmm.
Houston did get a big win with Case Keenum, though, last week. I'm going to take Houston at home. I just like their chances better than whoever's playing quarterback for Cleveland at this point. Although, yeah, like you mentioned, that defense is legit. I think Houston gets it done and possibly takes control of that division.
We'll see.
Houston without C.J. Stroud has looked like Houston last year. Give me Cleveland. They're rolling. They're 9-5. They are alive in the AFC playoff picture, and I'm going to rock with them.
There we go. I'm bring it back to me because you got the big game coming up next after this one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we have the Detroit Lions versus the Minnesota Vikings, and this is shaping up to be a little bit more of an interesting game with the Vikings in playoff contention. I believe they're currently the 7th seed or the 6th seed.
They're the 6th seed.
Sixth seed right now. Okay, so they're right there in the thick of it. They can't really go any higher than the 6th seed. 5th seed is going to be locked up by either Dallas or Philly. But this Lions team, I don't think they're going to lose to this Minnesota Vikings team. I'm sorry, Viking fans. I think this little run of theirs is going to come to an end. But Chris, what do you got here?
Yeah, I'm also going to take the road team Detroit here. They kind of shut everybody up last week when they beat the brakes off the Broncos. You know, all the fraud talk. So they kind of shut them up for at least another week. If they lose to Minnesota in a big divisional game, that's going to be really tough for them. I don't think it happens. I think Detroit goes in and gets another pretty easy win before they have kind of a tough matchup against the Cowboys the following week.
Give me Detroit as well. Vikings have been showing their true colors, especially with that choke against the Bengals last week. And, yeah, I'm going to rock with Detroit here. They're probably going to lock up the division with this win, I believe. I'm not sure. If not this win, next week for sure. They play the Vikings here twice within these next 3 weeks, which is really interesting scheduling-wise. But, yeah, I'm going to go with Detroit.
Yeah, win here will secure them the division.
Okay.
I think last week's win also officially secured their spot in the playoffs.
Yeah, playoffs.
Yeah, they got a playoff
which
spot.
is huge.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge for Detroit.
First time in a while.
Yeah, dude,
Since the
a
Stafford
long
days,
time,
like middle of the
a
Stafford
long
days.
time. I'm actually kind of excited to see them because we've never seen it really. So
And they're going to have a home playoff game, which is going to be like the more
as
fun
long as
part
they
about
don't like lose out.
Yeah,
and
the only way they lose the
yeah.
division is they lose out. Vikings win out, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
I don't think that's the case.
All right, back to Joey. What do we got next?
We got the Green Bay Packers and the Carolina Panthers. Really upsetting L for the Green Bay Packers last week, so kind of sucks. But I wish this game was a little bit more hyped, in my opinion. But do we throw this game to screw the Bears over, or do we try for that 89% of playoff chances? I don't know. I'm going to rock with the Green Bay Packers here. I think that we're going to hopefully win this game. I don't know, but knowing us, we'll probably make Bryce Young look like freaking a Super Bowl champion or something. I don't know.
This game's tough for me because I really want Carolina to ruin the Packers' dreams and hopes and keep them out of the playoffs. But I also want Carolina to
They're already ruined.
I want Carolina to keep that top pick, so I don't really want Green Bay to win either. A tie would be phenomenal. A tie would be amazing. Carolina won last week in like a fluke game, bunch of field goals, boring game. It was like 9-7 or something. I'm going to take the Packers on the road. I guess they're the better team here. I really don't want to see them win. A tie would be just the best thing in the world. That would be my Christmas gift, honestly, if they tied. So, rooting for that tie.
All right, Chris is rooting for the tie. I'm going to go with the Green Bay Packers. They should beat this Carolina Panthers team, but who knows? The Panthers have 2 wins this season, and both wins have only been off of field goals. Like, they never scored a touchdown in either of the games they won, which is like hysterical, the type of season they're having. But we're going to keep it moving. We have the Indianapolis Colts versus the Atlanta Falcons. This is a big game for the Colts. It's a must-win game, but it's also a must-win game for the Atlanta Falcons. A loss here pretty much means losing out in the division for the Falcons. And the loss last week hurts them so much against the Panthers. But the Colts lost as well, but they're tied with the 3 other teams in their division with the Jaguars, Texans, and themselves all being at 8-6. So I'm going to go with the Colts. They are the better team. They should come out with a win. But I think Atlanta's a little hungry, little quarterback issues going on. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm going to rock with the Colts as well. My boy Gardner Minshew, Naples, Florida. You know what I'm saying? Got to rock with the guy. Atlanta also been falling off a cliff. So definitely going to go with the hot hand here in the AFC and go with the Colts.
Yeah, I probably should pick the Colts here, but I'm going to bet against you guys to try to pick up a game on everybody. I'm going to take Atlanta, who just named Taylor Heineke as their quarterback. Hopefully he could bring some sort of fire at home and get this dub, but not a whole lot of faith in the pick, but that's what I'm going with.
All right, what do we got next?
Next game, we got Seattle Seahawks going to the Tennessee Titans. Big matchup here again. I'm not loving what I'm seeing out of Levis. I'm going to take another road team here and just rock with Seattle, who got a humongous win last night. Huge last drive. Big catch by Smith and Jigba at the end. Jake Locke was pumped. Drew Lock, whatever his name
Whatever
is.
the hell.
He's not that good, but I'm going to rock with Seattle here, and maybe they string 2 wins back-to-back, make things interesting.
Yeah, the year of the backup quarterback striking again here, potentially. I don't know if Geno Smith will start because he was activated before the game last week, but
True.
Drew Lock ended up winning them the football game. I'm going to go with Seattle here as well, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee pulls that weird underdog upset win and throws a little monkey in the wrench here in the NFC playoff picture.
That will be interesting, and I'm pretty sure that's something you're rooting for as a Packers fan for sure. But aside from that, yeah, this Seahawks team has the potential to be like game wreckers in the playoffs should they make it in there. They'll make it very challenging. I wouldn't say they'll win on the road in the playoffs, but they'll make it very, very challenging. But I will take Seattle in this game. But if Drew Lock is starting, I may switch to the Titans. I'm not too sure. This Titans team's up and down, so big win against the Dolphins, and then loses to Case Keenum and the Houston Texans. Keeping it moving, though, we're still in the 1 o'clock window here. We have the Washington Commanders versus the New York Jets. Jets are favored by 3 points after getting shut out. Washington actually put up a decent fight against the Rams. So I'm going to rock with Washington. Zach Wilson is concussed. Who finished off the game? Trevor Siemian. So he might be the starter. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to play. He's medically cleared, but don't put that guy out on the field. For a 5-9 team that just got shut out, do not put him out there. For what? Please don't.
Didn't he say he's not going to be able to play or something like that today?
He shouldn't.
Yep,
He said it on Pat McAfee or something. He's like, yeah, maybe if I had like 4 or 5 more weeks, I could come back. But all right, dude, whatever. No one wants to see you play anyways. I don't, that's for sure. I'm going to rock with Washington here. This game stinks. I'm not even going to pay attention to it, really. I'll just look at the box score and be like, oh, okay.
This game has potential to be like 3-0.
Yeah.
To be honest.
0-0 tie.
Yeah, I'm going to rock with Washington as well. If Zach Wilson were playing, I probably would have given the upper hand to the Jets, but I don't know. I don't trust it. I'm going to rock with Washington here. This game sucks, like Chris said.
All right, take us to 4:05.
All right, in the next window, at the 4 o'clock window to start, we got Jacksonville and Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay just kicked Green Bay's ass, so I'm probably going to rock with them. Jacksonville, a little bit shaky. I don't know with Trevor Lawrence, his whole, injury issue. I don't even know where the hell it is at this point anymore. If it's his knee, if it's his rib cage or whatever. He's just been getting beaten up. Every time I turn on the Jacksonville Jaguars, I just see Trevor Lawrence getting sacked. It's just really upsetting to me because I really like the kid. But I'm going to rock with Tampa Bay here for them to stay in the driver's seat in the NFC playoff picture.
Yeah, right now leading the NFC South. Fun fact, every team that's the number 1 seed in their division has had a starting quarterback that's played like the whole season, like start to finish so far. And that's a telling story of what this season has been because a lot of teams are still kind of in the mix and a lot of them have backup QBs, which is a little bit interesting to see. This far into the season, typically you go to backup, they lose a lot of games, but a lot of these backup quarterbacks are balling out. But at the same time, they're facing a lot of other backup quarterbacks. But we got two bona fide starters here in Baker Mayfield and Trevor Lawrence. It's a tough one. I'm kind of leaning towards the Jags. I think something's got to give for them this week. I'm taking like all the AFC South teams that are tied right now to get a win this week. So it should make things a little bit more interesting down the stretch. But I wouldn't be surprised if Tampa wins here.
Yeah, the Florida Bowl here. We got the Jags and the Bucks. Oh, man. Jags are banged up, and things are bad right now. The whole team's banged up. Offensive line, quarterback, lost a wide receiver. Some of the defense is banged up. It's not looking good. They're on a 3-game losing streak. Tampa's on a 3-game winning streak. That being said, I think the Jaguars crushed the Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans' hopes and dreams in this game and get a win on the road. The Jags fans need it more. Hopefully they get it done. I really want them to win that division and make the playoffs, but I'm not super confident in the pick right now with what we've seen out of them and then how hot the Bucks have been, honestly. So
yeah, I feel similar to you in that sense. Like possibly game time, if I see like what you said, all these injuries start to pile up a bit more, I might switch over to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But for right now, let's rock with the Jags. I think they have a good chance should things be a little bit more in their favor in terms of injuries. But back to you, Chris. What do we got?
Got the Arizona Cardinals going to the Windy City to face off against my Chicago Bears. Fun fact, I think the Bears started off as the Cardinals or something like that. The Cardinals moved to Chicago, something like that. So these teams are related in that sense. Kind of cool. That being said, screw Arizona. The boys are winning this week, baby. Give me the Bears. Lock them in. We had a tough loss last week. We're back at home. I think we could pull off a nice win here against Arizona and get us closer to my 8-win prediction for the year. Inching closer.
Yeah, I definitely think the Bears are going to pull it off. Arizona they looked a little bit like they were going to show some promise against the 49ers there in the beginning of the game. There was like a wild play where there was like a muff punt, and they like took it back or whatever. It got called back. I don't know. That kind of got me excited. That's as far as Arizona came. They were going to beat the 49ers. Did not happen. They got creamed. Christian McCaffrey went off. The Bears, they almost won. If they just hung on to that Hail Mary at the end of the game, they would have pulled it out. But I don't know. They didn't. Their games have been really tight, and they've been showing a lot of promise in their losses down the stretch. So I'm going to go with the Bears here.
Early on in the season, once the schedule came out, everyone circled this game and was like, this is going to be the tank pull. This is going to be the worst game of the season. I don't think it is the case. I think this is going to be actually a half-decent game. You have Kyler Murray, who's back with the Cardinals, and he's actually performing pretty well. And against a team like Chicago, he's going to have a tough task facing that defense. But I do think the original Chicago team prevails, and that is the Arizona Cardinals. They are the older team. But in all seriousness, like Chris alluded to, like if you didn't say it, I probably would have said that little tidbit about the two teams here. But yeah, it's going to be tough. I do think they have a chance, but it's going to be tough. This Bears team is surging at the right time in terms of development and all this stuff because they already have 9 losses in the season. You can kind of almost book them for not making the playoffs, but you win out and there's a chance. There is a chance. So let's say they might get to that 8-win mark if they should win out. That should be interesting. But we're going to take it to the Miami Dolphins hosting the Dallas Cowboys. Big Christmas Eve game here. The boys are in town, and the Dolphins are wearing their throwbacks. Give me those freaking Fins. It's going to be a great week. A lot of Cowboy fans down here in Miami, so I already know they're all going to get a little bit rowdy and start mentioning me everywhere. Just – what about them boys? I'm going to be like, we'll find out after the game. What about them boys? They just got their butts kicked against the Buffalo Bills, who is a team in their own right, really good, especially at home. Dallas Cowboys have struggled on the road this year. Give me the Dolphins. The spread is favorable in terms of betting for the Dolphins, -1.5. I mean, a field goal gets you a winning bet there. So I would say go with that. Tyreek Hill is still kind of questionable. But they did include him in their promo for the game. They had like a cowboy and Tyreek pull up in like a fancy ass car.
Sports car.
Yeah, whatever. And then he looks down. He's like, "Want to race?" Deuces. And then
It was cool.
the little game slate came up, so that was pretty sick. Aside from that, give me the Dolphins. Tua's been doing good. Waddle's been doing good. Raheem Mostert setting records for the Miami Dolphins in terms of franchise rushing yard touchdowns. So love to see that. But who would love to go next?
Okay.
We got Joe.
Yeah, I'll rock with the Miami Dolphins as well. Dallas really kind of got exposed last week against the Buffalo Bills, who are white hot. I am going to go with the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, they look like they need a formidable win going down the stretch to kind of give them some good morale heading into the playoffs, and I think they'll get it here.
It would be their first win against a team
Yep.
above 500 all season long. So let's hope that's the case, and we can kind of break that script as well. But what about you, Chris?
Yeah, Miami hasn't looked great against good teams this year, and that's what scares me about this game. On the flip side of things, Dallas has all of their losses on the road so far this year. I kind of feel like Miami gets this win at home and gives Dallas another loss. I'm not, again, super confident in it. It's two 10-4 teams going against each other, but I think Tyreek is going to play. He looked fine, honestly, in warm-ups last week. I think if they played anybody but the Jets, he probably would have given it a go. But they probably saw Dallas coming up this week and wanted to keep him healthy. I think he has a big game. Miami wins. It's going to be close, but I think Miami wins and hands Dallas another road loss. And just classic Dallas at the end of the year, shit in the bed.
That and I just hope what you said, it's a close game and somehow, some way, Dallas is going on the field, Dolphins intercept the ball. That would be a storybook ending for the game. I would love it.
Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah,
Call game.
book it. Jalen Ramsey pick for the win. But Chris, back to you. What do we got next?
We got the Patriots going to Denver to play the Broncos there. Broncos just got a bad loss. I think they'll pick up a win at home here against a bad New England team. A lot of people are saying Sean Payton should get Coach of the Year all of a sudden now that he brought this team back. I don't know if I believe all of that hype, but I think Denver does pick up the win here at home.
Yeah, this game's easy to pick. The Patriots suck. Bill Belichick's out the door. Kraft's going to be out the door. The Denver Broncos are still alive in the AFC, but I doubt that they make it in. But I think that they get a W here on Sunday Night Football.
Gotta agree with you guys. The Denver Broncos are wearing they're all orange with a white helmet uniform. Got a little throwback logos on it. I think it's pretty sick. Yeah, this is Sunday Night Football. It's gonna be a decent cap to Christmas Eve, and then it will lead you into this full slate of games on Sunday in terms of the hourly windows. We have the 1 o'clock game on Christmas, the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's not waste our time here. Let's all go with the Kansas City Chiefs,
Yeah,
unless
this is really
anyone
easy to
has
pick.
any other proclamations they want to put out there.
63 by the Raiders last week.
All right.
Nah.
We'll put
Ain't
me and
happening.
Joey.
No, I'm just saying I'm taking the Chiefs, but does that not make you guys a tad bit nervous? 63 points in a game? That's quite a bit.
No, doesn't.
No,
They don't have
everyone-
Brandon Staley on the freaking coaching. They have Andy Reid.
Everyone's going again with the Chiefs. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
taking the Chiefs. too.
Yeah, I'm going with the Chiefs as well. Impressive performance by the Raiders last week, no without a doubt.
for sure.
But against an awful team that literally should have fired the coach at halftime and been one of those teams that made history by doing so because they were getting a historic loss handed to them anyways. Give them props to at least let them get back home and then fire them, on decency. But, man, I would have been a cutthroat type of owner GM. But I think the GM got fired as well, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
it was awful. Aside from that, Raiders, big win. Kansas City Chiefs. Got the win against the Patriots, but it wasn't pretty. So let's see what happens there. But who wants to go next? Bring it on down, Christopher.
We got the Giants taking on the Eagles here. Eagles have lost 3 in a row now. Not looking good.
Yeah.
Something like that. Not looking great. Eagles are gonna pick up a big win here. The Giants are done. Tommy DeVito's over all the Italian crap. They asked him to rank his top 5 Soprano moments or something like that, and he just walked out. He's over it. I'm over the Giants. Eagles pick up a big win here.
That's awful. I didn't even see that in the press conference. That's hilarious. I'm going to have to Google that. I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles, too. I'm so over the Tommy DeVito crap. It was kind of cool in the beginning. Now, I think that they're just milking it because they know that Disney's probably going to end up making a movie about it one day or something stupid. So I'm kind of over it, too. The meat riding is real, and I'm here for the Eagles.
Oh, man. I'm going to go with the Eagles as well. They had a tough loss on Monday against the Seattle Seahawks. Jalen Hurts was under the weather. Who cares? I mean, you're a football player. Like, I don't want that to be your excuse. If you're, like, the whole MJ flu game, like, story, like, I can understand that one a little bit more.
MJ's different, bro.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying, like, the whole Jalen Hurts was sick narrative, get that out of here. I mean, players play under the weather all the time. But besides that, I mean, not the best performance by the Philadelphia Eagles as of late. They've had some tough games. It was San Fran, Dallas, and then the Seahawks, all losses to the Eagles. They're still tied with the Cowboys for the lead of the NFC East. But they have 2 games against this New York Giants team in a span of 3 weeks. So it should be interesting here. But let's go with the Philadelphia Eagles. And then to close it all off, we have the last Christmas game, the Baltimore Ravens versus the San Francisco 49ers. This is going to be a phenomenal game. You know how you said the schedule makers thought they were doing something with the Bills and the Chargers game? This game, Baltimore Ravens versus San Francisco 49ers, is cooking. We got the 2 number 1 seeds in all of football and all of the NFC and all of the AFC. And it should be fireworks. Let's hope it is, because I think this is going to have potential for game of the year. We're going to see 2 run-heavy offenses, but they're very explosive with it. And Lamar's been playing pretty good as of late, throwing the ball, so I love that. And San Francisco has so many weapons on offense. So I'm going to go with the 49ers for my own personal reasons, but I can see Baltimore winning this game either way. So you can't go wrong with whoever you try to pick here. Who wants to go?
I'll go. Yeah, I'm rocking with the Niners here as well. Baltimore. I mean, these are both the 2 best teams in the NFL, point blank, at this point. San Francisco, to me, has just looked more like a just well-oiled machine. I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers, but I wouldn't be surprised if Lamar and company pulled it off.
Mm-hmm.
I love this game. It's going to be sick. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to watch it, but I'm going to take the home team here. Both teams are super hot right now. These 2 defenses are badass. This is going to be a great matchup. But ever since San Fran traded for Chase Young, I think they've gone 6-0, haven't lost a game since he's been there. Baltimore's won the last 4. This game is awesome. It could be a potential Super Bowl matchup.
That's what they're predicting.
Potentially.
According to the Super Bowl
rematch, too.
Yeah, so that would be cool. But I'm going to just take the home team here. I don't know, traveling, it's Christmas time. I don't know, maybe the Ravens are a little bit more tired. Give the edge to the Niners.
Airports are busy.
Yeah. All in all, I think, this has massive potential to be game of the year when it's all said and done. And I really hope it is. Let's not hype it up too much. We'll see. But it could be a Super Bowl preview, like Chris alluded to. The logos theory is in play here.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
We'll see how it plays out.
But that wraps up week 16 of NFL Gamepicks. Obviously, no more teams on bye. Final words. We got a big game against the Cowboys this week, and this is going to be very beneficial should the 49ers beat the Baltimore Ravens, and the Dolphins can leapfrog them and go to the number 1 seed. Besides that, Bills are right on the Dolphins' tail, so don't let a game like this slip up. This is a big-time game for them.
Hoping the Packers get a W. Depending on how everything else plays out for their favor, they need a lot of help now. So if we don't get the help, then, I really don't care. I would rather have us get a good draft pick. But if we get the help, then, yeah, let's go on a run. Let's try it.
Help me!
Help me! Help you!
We're not really playing for much, honestly, at this point. But I think Justin Fields is playing to shut everybody up about us taking a potential quarterback in the draft. Hopefully he does. And we continue to just look good, build upon some of these close losses, get wins against shitty teams like the Cardinals, and move on to the next week. So that's what I'm hoping for.
There we go. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.